Hello. Hi. I wanted to say hello and try to make a short video. Someone made a comment last night when I was explaining about being a squirrel whisperer and explaining the campus where I got my Master of Fine Arts, how there were so many squirrels. So like I had this experience with squirrels. And so somebody chimed in and was like, oh, that worthless MFA, waste time, whatever, really negative comment. And I was sort of like, okay, why so disgruntled kind of thing. And then like, there are people like, I don't know, maybe one of my parental units doesn't really understand higher education, only sees it as a business. And on one hand, yes, right now in the world, anytime in the world, there's always been libraries, places you can learn, ways you can learn, ways you can teach yourself. One can teach oneself anything they set their minds to. So people don't always need higher education, okay? Not necessary, okay? And then there's also all these people in student loan debt up to their eyeballs that, like, maybe you didn't need to go and do that. Maybe you should have tried something different first. We all see it with some people, like, oh God, what a waste of time, what a waste of money, things like that. Or some people sort of avoid growing up, like, I'm gonna stay in school forever. Now, there's also the other end of the spectrum. There is that it's really important to continue all your life, to continue learning. If you're not learning, you're probably not growing. And I see a lot of people that are stagnant. They stopped growing after high school, around high school, maybe as a young adult. And that's where they are. That's where they're always going to be. And then there's some people that don't change, like really don't change. And, like barflies, things like that. So people that want the easy way, so they think, oh, I don't want to go to school and have to use my brain and think, oh God, it's going to be so hard, I'll take a different route. And then it doesn't always work out. So whether it's an education and you get a piece of paper or not, education in life is a very serious matter. It's a very important thing. So that person that was like, oh, what a waste of blah, 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 they didn't realize it took me a little time to get through my art program, but oh my gosh, the things it opened up for me, because it did take me out of a box and it gave me a free range to think out of the box as a creative person. And as someone who wanted to get my master's for 15 years and through a very weird set of circumstances that I'll spare y'all, I ended up going, yeah, and it was hard. I gave blood, sweat, tears. I feel like I sacrificed some things, like relationships, and I took it really seriously. And that's the thing. People can give so much, and it depends on who the people are in the departments and the programs, because some people really give it their everything and they get nothing out of it. Okay. They walk away, no endorsements, no nothing, Or some people are like sort of paraded through and applauded and put on the pedestal. So and then you've got your middle of the road average students that get their education. And it's like, it really comes down to what you do with it, what you do with your time there, okay? What you do afterwards. I've had a lot of different health issues and spinal issues and surgeries and things, so like I've gotten off course from some things, but it didn't mean that I didn't do anything fulfilling or get to a destination or different places. I've participated in some outstanding art shows, things like that, but I don't even care about that, because I got to a point where one art show I was like, oh, I don't really want to be public anymore. I want to just draw it back and make messages and put it out there, public art, when I feel like it. So, but back to their message, they were sort of hateful. Sounded sort of like my dad, or like a couple of haters I can think of, that, One's really creative and one isn't. So anyways, I'm sorry, I'm reflecting. And so what did my MFA do for me? Well, it gave me some aha epiphanies within my own art works, structure, my theories, how I apply myself, my expressions, my messages. There was a professor, Professor Mardica, Paul Mardica, and he was like, hey, as an artist, do you think that you have a responsibility to use your art to speak about social issues? At that time, I was like, hell no. And then it was like, actually, you do. So my whole thing since like 2013-ish, maybe even 2012, has been raising awareness of people going missing. Okay, that's huge. That's huge. So and what did my MFA get me? Well, it got me to France, to Italy, on different learning educational trips where I met incredible people, learned different languages. I dabble, and if I'm somewhere, I can become fluent. So like Italian, Russian, French, some Spanish. I don't practice as much as I should, but it's getting there. And some, let's see, Arabic, some Kabyle, a little Thai. So I would feel comfortable going to any country in Europe for the most part alone, and being able to also some German and Hebrew and Yiddish. So I'd be very comfortable to travel by myself. So many things that got me to Penland School of Crafts and Design. I've made hats. Like I was gonna live in Paris, France. There's been some wonderful things. So it's what I do with my time, what I do with myself. It's my experience, my journey. It's not about a title or an amount of money that you make, or I'm this, I'm that. No. It's about your life experience and how you apply yourself. When I did my successful Airbnb, so many different things in life, I used the skills that I sort of cultivated because I was more of a studio artist, so I didn't have as much direction as, like, say, a painter or a sculptor, like with the torches and things like that. I'm an assemblage artist. I use glue, so there's a lot of time like meditating in thought and prayer, reflective. So yeah, I don't regret one bit. And the person that said that is a very ignorant, it sounded like a very angry chip on their shoulder. Like maybe you wanted to go to art school, you didn't get in, you couldn't afford it, you weren't good enough. I don't know what your problem is. Or maybe you have a whole bunch of student debt and you're like just pissed at the world. Whatever, that's all you. You don't know me, you don't know what I've done. Okay? So, and even if you do know me, you still don't know. So, eat it! And have a great night. Bye!